Hello guys, so we are back, and in this C programming tutorial video we'll talk about loops. So loops are actually repetitive commands and they are really often used in programming, and it's really good to know them well. Okay, so in this video I will teach you how to use while loop and how to use do while loop. So let's start with while loop first. So the basic module of every while loop is this. So you type in while, and inside of these brackets you type in some condition. Okay, and then with these curly brackets you open the body of this while loop, and inside of that body you have some statements. For example, statement 1, statement 2, and so on. So the logic behind this is actually, while this condition is true, do this. And when you do these statements, then go back here, check again if the condition is true, and if it's true, then do this again. So while this condition is true, this will be executed on and on, all the way until this condition is false. Once the condition is false, the program will exit this while loop and continue to do anything that is underneath. So right now, I will delete this, and I will show you inside of a small program how to use one while loop. So in this program, I will ask the user to type in some number, and this program will calculate that number's factorial and print out results on the screen. I will make a variable, which I will call num, and I will use it to place the number which user types in, and I'll make another help variable, which is going to be I, and f, which I will use to give results through this f variable, which stands for factorial. So printf, type in some number, and I'll use scanf here, %d, num, and I'll place that number inside of num variable. Okay, I will set I to 1 here, and now you'll see why. While I is smaller or equal to n, do this: f times equal I and I plus plus. So while I is smaller or equal to n, do this. It's pretty simple. And at the end I need to print out the results back. Don't worry, I will explain this while loop after I finish the program. So %d, and I will use here exclamation mark for factorial, is %d. So this %d will be num, and the second one will be f. Okay, and return 0. So right now, right here, this shortcut is from this f is f times I. But we use shortcuts in programming very often, so I will use the shortcut for it. We've learned this shortcut in some of the past videos. So inside of this loop, for example, let's say that the user types in 3. In this comment, I will type and change the values of variables as I go through this program and as I go through this loop. So let's say the user typed in num is 3. Okay. F is gonna be something, and I is set to 1. Okay, so right now I will check I, is it smaller or less than n, then num, sorry, I need to use num here. It is, because I is 1 and num is 3. Then I will go inside of this, and this is actually f equals f times I. And for example, if I don't initialize this f right here, I will get an error because this f doesn't have a value right now. It has some value that is there by accident. So we need to actually initialize this f. And for example, if we initialize it by 0, then all of these calculations will be 0, because when we multiply with 0, we get a 0. So that's the reason why I will use 1 here, and that won't change anything. So I will calculate 1 times 1, and that in the first iteration will be 1. So f will still be 1. So that's why you must use 1 here, because if you cut in the first iteration, f doesn't have any value, so you will get just some random number which was before on the address that was reserved for this variable. So you must use here this 1, and then I will be incremented, so I is now 2, and then we check again. 2, is it smaller or equal to num? It is, because num is 3, and then we go inside of the body of this loop again. So right now we have here f is equal to f times I, 1 times 2. So 1 times 2 is actually 2. So that changes the value of f right here, and this increment operator will change this value to 3. Okay, pretty simple. Now I is 3. 3, is it less or equal to num? It is, it's equal. So we will go inside of this body again. So right now we have 2 times 3, which is 6. So we've changed the value of f to 6. And this increment operator will change this value to 4. And now we go back to check the condition. 4, is it smaller or equal to 3? No. And because this condition is not true, the program will exit this while loop and continue to do the rest of the code, which is underneath here. Okay, so when we run this program, and here I will type in 3. Okay, so 3 factorial is 6. That's correct. Let's check for 5, for example. 5 factorial is 120. And for example, if we don't use this initialization and if we don't set f to 1, as you can see, when we type in 3, we get an error. We get 48. So that is pretty much how we use while loops. Right now, I will show you how to use do-while loops and the basic model of one do-while loop. So do, we type in do, and then here we have some statements. Okay, and here underneath this we have our condition, while condition. So actually do-while loop will be always at least one time executed. So it will execute this, and then it will check if the condition is true. And if condition is not true, then it will continue to do the rest of the code underneath. If it's true, it will go back and execute these statements again. Okay, so right now I will show you where it's really good to use do-while loops, and it's really nice to use them in that way. So I will initialize a variable which I will call num. And for example, I want to make a program in which user will input a natural number. So I will use do-while loop for that. Printf, type in 1 natural number. Then scanf, %d, and I'll place it to num. And here I will use while num is smaller or equal to 0. So I'm using the reverse logic here. So I'll print this out on the screen, and if user types in some negative number or 0, which is not a natural number, that will make this condition right here true, because it's going to be 0 or smaller than 0. So then this do-while loop will actually go back here and make this statements execute again. So right now I'll show you when we run this program. Type in 1 natural number. For example, if I type in 0, it will print this out again, because this do-while loop is actually this condition right here is true, and it will give me it will take me back up here. So pretty simple. And if I type in again -2, it will get me back up here. But if I type in the correct number, for example 5, which is a natural number, then the program will continue and do everything that is underneath this do-while loop. So that would be pretty much it about do-while loops, and that would be pretty much it about this video. So in the next video, I will actually talk about for loop, and that is also really important. So make sure you watch that video. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel too, and put the notification bell on as well, so you can be in touch with our latest videos and uploads, because we upload daily. Thank you for watching and see you next time.